Okay, so this is an interview that CNN did with some Trump supporters around Doge, Elon Musk, and their opinions on some things going on. And I have not watched this yet. I've seen a couple of people cover it, and I keep purposely not watching it because I wanted to react to it because apparently some of them get pretty heated.
You know somebody smarter?
Than Elon Musk?
That's right.
You can be smart and immoral. You can be smart and make bad decisions.
You are 100% right about that. There's no doubt about that. It does not give me pause. I'm 100% Team Musk.
Josh Evan Kirkland is one of the people we spoke to at a hog show in Nahunta, Georgia. We first came to Brantley County right before the election because it was the most pro-Trump county in a swing state in 2020. People had had a strong emotional connection to President Trump, and they thought Trump was for them instead of the elites. So we wanted to see what they made of billionaire Elon Musk.
There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts about Musk, and he's a brilliant man himself. I think a lot of people are scared that the two of them have teamed up.
Last time we were here, Kathy Hendricks sold Trump merch in a corner of her boutique.
I sold out of everything. Yeah. I sold out of all my Trump stuff. I have sold the daddy's home.
Why do people like that, calling Trump daddy?
There is a security in daddy. Mama is the one that runs everything. Mama's the one that does everything, but there is a security in daddy. When daddy wraps his arms around you, you feel like the whole world is just, you're safe and everything's going to be okay.
And that's the way they mean it?
And that's the way they mean it.
Because, on the internet at least, sometimes it has like a sexual meaning.
Oh, Lord.
That's one of my favorite parts. This woman is just getting, let's be real, drenched thinking about Trump. Basically, I think the reporter was basically trying to say this sounds psychosexual.
Yeah.
What do you think of the job he's done so far?
It's like Christmas morning every single day.
Hendricks introduced us to Candace Taylor, who declared she's running for Congress that very day on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast.
I wanted to announce with you are loyal to President Trump.
God anoints people. He's anointed President Trump. So if Elon Musk wants to cut trillions of dollars out of this budget, and if my family has to tighten our belt and not go on vacation because of it, I'm down with that.
Wait, is this that woman? Wait a second.
Yeah, it just said she was the one that was on the Steve Bannon podcast.
No, wait. I gotta see something. Is this that woman who did the weird moons and stuff? I don't remember this video. It was wild. Wait.
Weird moons?
This is it. This is it. Yeah.
Okay.
I recognize her instantly. I forgot about her. This is the same woman. This is her views on flat Earth.
More and more, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. So is it or not? I don't know 100%, but it's just, it doesn't make sense the other way. Now that you see it.
The people that defend the globe don't know anything about the globe, because if they knew a tenth of what Matt and I know about the globe, they would be flat earthers.
I instantly recognized her. I'm like, that's that woman who went on the podcast to talk about flat Earth. That was kind of viral a little while ago, a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's one of those faces, that stare that you never forget. When you see that face, you're like, I will remember that face forever. And that voice too. I was like, that's definitely her. That's hilarious. So you can see where this woman's mind is. Who in the fucking right mind would say waking up every day under Trump is like Christmas Eve, Christmas morning every day? What has he done for you?
Welcome some personal financial hardship if you think in the long run it will help.
Yeah, I've already experienced it.
Under Biden, with inflation, were you happy to pay the higher prices, or did you think that was a failing of his presidency?
It was a tremendous failing.
All right, how long are you willing to wait for the economic changes you're hoping to see, for the prices to come down?
Oh, I'm good if President Trump wants to run in 2028.
In 2022, Taylor ran in the Republican primary.
I just want to say something about the CNN reporter. I've seen her a lot. I like her as far as CNN reporters go. But I always find it funny that they pick the most coastal, Libby, liberal arts, all women's college looking person to go down to these towns to do these. Is she not the most
I didn't see what she was wearing on her feet, but I'm assuming it's Birkenstocks, we're big fans of Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks are like Tevas or something, but they pick the most fish out of water reporter every time, and it always makes me laugh.
For governor with a Jesus Guns Baby slogan and lost.
Well, I went back there at the wrong time. Jesus, guns, and babies. Oh my god. That is wild.
Well, if that's what we're up against.
Listen, let's be real. I wanna say something. If all you really give a shit about is Jesus, guns, and babies, I see why you like Trump. If that's what you care about, if you care about Jesus, guns, and babies, then you like Trump. Why wouldn't you? Like, you got your Jesus, you got your guns, and, he's placating you on the abortion thing, even though he's, let's be real, allegedly probably had a few. I mean, he's definitely had a few. I'm not yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's definitely paid for more than one,
yeah.
allegedly, in my opinion. Um, and I'm sure he's paid for some for Ivanka, in my opinion. Like, I Jesus, guns, and baby. But
And
the
then they
thing
got
is, my problem with people saying that's all they care about, no one is trying to take Jesus away from you in any political party.
yep.
Jesus just isn't supposed to be a part of the laws.
You cannot run for president in this country, Democrat or Republican, without expressly saying that you are a Christian.
Mhm.
It is 2025 and 2024, last time we had election, and we still had candidates that you have to say that you are a Christian. I mean, atheists are the biggest minority in Congress. I think I can remember one person who has said, I am an atheist, and that was in Congress. I don't even know if they said it before they were in Congress. I got to look up who that was. I remember that happening. There's one person that I can ever remember in my lifetime that says, I don't believe in God. Trump doesn't believe in God.
No.
No. Or even if he does, he might believe in God in the sense of there might be something after this, whatever. But he's one of the least religious person. His religiosity levels are like zero.
Why run for Congress if some billionaire can just undo whatever budget you passed, whatever laws you passed?
Oh, he's not undoing everything. He's dealing with stuff that's frivolous.
Again, frivolous to you.
Yeah.
Frivolous to you. And he's making shit up. That's the worst part. Like the transgender mice thing.
Yeah, that's not what that thing was. I can't remember the word for it now. Shit.
Transgenetic, I think, or
Something
I
like
forget what it was.
that.
So Trump just came out and said that he cut funding for transgender mice program when it's not that. I believe it's transgenetic or whatever. But anyway, the idea is they put DNA and different cells of humans into mice to then help learn about disease resistance because it makes the mice body more like a human body. So he came out all proud that I cut this program for transgender mice, when in reality, what he did was he cut a program that was genetically enhancing mice for cancer research so that we can get a better idea of how cancer treatments affect humans. Like, come on. The term is transgenic.
Transgenic.
He is going to give away $4.5 trillion in tax cuts to the wealthiest people in this country, and he is citing an $8 million cut. That's the thing about Doge and this whole initiative that drives me the most crazy. He is cutting $8 billion here, a couple $1 million here for a giveaway to his rich friends, and this 8 million, 80 billion, whatever he's giving away at any or cutting at any given time, is entire budgets for these departments that have demonstrable good.
We did meet 3 people who had some concerns about the firing of federal workers, but the only one who wanted to say so on camera was Corbett Wilson, one of the rare Trump skeptics we found last time we visited.
Prices of groceries, egg prices haven't gone down since Trump took office.
Give him a little bit of time. Will you come back in a year or 2 years? Let's look at the halfway point, because we all know everything takes time.
He literally ran on lowering egg prices on day one. We're not the ones who aren't giving him time. He sent out a time frame to himself saying day one he was going to come in, Gaza was going to end, Ukrainian war was going to end, and egg prices were going to drop. I didn't say that. He said it. Why should I give him any more time? Would you give Biden time if he said day one I'm coming in and I'm giving? Let's say Biden said day one I'm coming in and I'm giving everyone $10,000 checks. If you had to wait a year for that check, do you think these same people would be saying, "Our $10,000 check's coming"? No, they wouldn't. They'd be losing their goddamn mind.
Absolutely. And then remember when gas prices were spiking in 2021? It was summer of 21.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the term exactly, but Biden basically got it like opened up the fuel
Yeah.
reserves to lower the prices. And everyone's like, well,
Strategic reserve.
There we go. And people were mad that that day the prices hadn't dropped. They didn't give him time, and he was actually doing something to actively help the American people and make fuel costs more affordable.
The craziest thing is we are expected to have a 3% drop in GDP, right? Which is a massive drop.
That's huge.
When you think about the trillions and trillions of dollars that is produced by the US, 3% is a massive drop. Um, much like it's really funny actually. So you know how we're having a drop in the GDP. Um, it was on a steady like 2.5 to 3.5% climb, right? Under Biden.
Yeah.
Um, if Trump would have done nothing, he would have continued that trend and he would have inherited Biden's economy and it would have been fantastic. I think the entire view of Trump would have been different if he would have just not meddled. Because what people don't understand is the president doesn't have a lot to do with the economy. The president can ruin an economy, which Trump is actively doing. But if a president just stays back and let things happen, most of the time it's better than if they try to meddle in it.
Yeah.
It would have just had its natural growth that it was having for a while now. But the funny thing is, that is a direct correlation to Trump's own net worth. Because have you ever heard when he inherited what $400 million from his dad or whatever? If he would have just put it in the bank, he'd have more money now than when he did his active investments. So Trump just can't help but taking a good thing like casinos and destroying them.
Yeah. I chuckled a little bit because what you were explaining about if the president was just hands off, everything would just get better and run fine. Here's a little metaphor for you. They have run studies on The Sims 2
Okay.
and The Sims 3 and I believe The Sims 4 and they said I know it was specifically with The Sims 2. They said everything worked out better and The Sims had better lives if you actually didn't interfere or tell them to do anything.
Yeah, basically they're programmed to do a certain thing. If you just let them do it,
Yeah.
that's sort of like the US economy for the most part,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest. I'm not laissez-faire economy guy, but if you have regulations for safety and other things, and so people aren't getting screwed over, and if in the modern world, if the way things were trending up, if he would have just not touched anything, just watch the simulation play out like The Sims, we would be better off right now.
Yes, and then at the end of the day he could just take credit for other people's work like he did the first time around.
And everyone would have been happy and the guy would run off into the fucking sunset. That's all that we had to fucking do. But he can't help it.
Well, he promised it on the first day.
He promises to
And
take
anybody
steps.
that believed that's crazy.
I want to make it very clear. I'm not one of those people who was like everything was fine under the Biden economy. We have a lot of systemic problems that you people who voted for Trump don't want to acknowledge. That's the part that is the most frustrating. When I said that if the economy, you just let it go, it'll keep going up and everything will be fine. That is true from the economic metric standpoint, GDP growth, stock market, that sort of thing. I don't mean that people aren't struggling. People are very much struggling, but the people that you elected are actively working in your interest, the opposite of your interest in that. They want you to struggle. They want to take your money and they want to put it in the hands of their filthy rich friends.
Painful to start with, but it would get better. We got to give him.
Everybody's waiting on that.
Well,
You
I
talking
hope we
about
will.
contractors? Elon's a contractor too. Who looks into him?
There needs to be somebody.
Nobody questions his bills.
I love when you get these based Southern dudes who like don't even understand necessarily what they're saying, but they're like just spitting up, straight facts. And that they don't think of it in like oh, this is what the Democrat would say. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, this is common sense. Who's looking into the person that's looking into it? That's a
Yeah.
very good point that no one seems to think of. I
Yeah.
don't know how you can just say, oh, I support Elon blindly. It's wild to me.
He's a
Absolutely.
government contractor. He's got business interests, whether in defense, internet, that kind of thing. He's also admitted to drug use. He smoked pot on the Joe Rogan show. Do you trust him as like a stable, rational, and reasonable person to be doing this job?
Yes.
Hey, he's a Republican. You ain't gonna talk him out of that.
There's
No, and
potheads
these
all over this country. Y'all sitting here trying to bash
I
one
ain't
man for what,
bashing none.
99?
Pothead is fine. Allegedly, Elon Musk is on ketamine 24/7. A little different. A lot of Twitter employees, ex-employees, SpaceX employees have all said that Elon is on ketamine all day long. That's a little different. We have a ketamine addict who's basically tripping balls all day long looking into our finances.
Is ketamine the horse tranquilizer?
I don't know. I'm not a drug guy. I
No.
don't know what each of them do. I just know that
Clearly, we're not drug people
yeah.
because, we don't know, but
I just know that you're not gonna be thinking the most clear while
no.
tripping balls on ketamine all day.
To Republican or Democrat, Corbett, this whole dadgum town smokes pot. You're part of the Democrat Party in my book.
The conversation devolved quickly. We had not anticipated the emotional connection Minnie already felt with Musk.
This
He
is
did
over
it on
with.
TV.
He sat on TV and smoked pot.
Yes, do you
Well,
want
I
me to
haven't. I
pull up
don't
the
care.
video?
I'm saying it don't matter.
Let me pull up
But
the
that
video
makes him
for you.
unqualified to do a
Well,
job.
I'm just saying, does it?
Yeah, I mean,
Does the
she's
question
coming in
is-
here with ignorant arguments. She
Does
ain't
it-
talking
does
facts.
it-
You just said she's coming
I
in
know.
here with ignorant arguments while I'm talking facts,
I know.
when she's literally trying to show him video evidence of what she said. She said that Musk smoked pot on a podcast.
He did. He just smoked it on Joe Rogan. Everyone saw it.
Yeah. And this guy first said, "No, everyone down here are potheads, like, nobody cares about that." But now he's getting all upset and his panties in a twist when she's saying, like, "Oh, do you still have a problem with it?" And he's like, "No, I don't." And then she's like, "Well, do you wanna see the video?" And he's like, "No, it's all lies." Like, the cognitive dissonance here is astounding.
The part that makes me a little sad is that these are very hopeless people who have never had anything good in their life, and they still don't, but in their mind, they have someone fighting for them for the first time. So there's a real emotional connection to Trump because it's become their identity. What makes me even more sad is that if the Democrats went at all left or, had Bernie or whatever and talked to these people, they're so gettable. These people are so gettable. These are the same people who, some of the most staunch socialists used to be the redneck farmers.
Mhm.
They believed in the ideology, they were pro-union, they were fighting for rights, and now the Democratic Party has abandoned them for so long in terms of being at all caring about their interests because, they just wanna have they just wanna have their brunches in New York City and LA.
I feel like the last president that really spoke to this population specifically was Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, because he was one of them. These people are gettable. If you just cared about their lives and their well-being, but the Democrats are bought by the billionaires as well, and no one's fighting for you, and the left has been demonized by both parties because the Democrats know that the left is going to get between them and their paychecks from their billionaires, and the same thing on the right.
Democrat by the level of ignorance that you portray.
Let's
We
just
listen to
show
that
it.
all the time. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, please drain the swamp. While you there, get the job done. Please.
They'll probably go down the drain with it.
He had a Pepsi cup. I never saw a Pepsi when I was in Georgia.
That's very funny. They got a "Hey y'all" sign. That's pretty Georgia. But basically, that's one of the main points I wanted with this video is that the emotional connection these people have with Trump is shocking. Obviously, the amount of brainwash we all know that. But the thing that makes me the most sad is if the Democrats actually embraced the left and had left wing populist ideology and thoughts and brought something to these people and said, "We are going to substantively change your life," which the Democrats in this circumstance and the left have a chance of doing. They can actually impact your life for the better. Instead, these people keep falling for it over and over and over again with the right that they're going to make your life better because they use the rhetoric and it's never coming.